Hi, welcome. Hey guys, this is Anastasia and Anna. Here we are recording this AMA session from last night, just because due to some technical issues, we couldn't actually grab the screen. So we couldn't send you the video with only us talking without sharing screen and actually showing you the whole presentation. So basically, let us just start with this. I'm going to share my screen and actually like talk a little bit like what we've talked about yesterday. Before, of course, let us introduce ourselves and tell you everything about the topic, because some of you, of course, didn't attend, and this is very crucial. For the beginning. So my name is Anastasia. I am the head of customer success here in NetHunt, and I've been with the company for almost 5 years. And the role of customer success is just to make sure that all our clients are happy and healthy and they stay with the CRM for as long as we live, and also grow their business with our CRM. And I am here with my co-host Anna. Super excited to have you here, girl. So I'm giving the word to you.
Hi everyone. Yes, we're doing the volume 2 of this presentation, but we're still excited. I was talking about it in the previous recording that it's an eternal question for NetHunt. So it's okay. We talk about customization every day. Why not 2 days in a row for you guys? But yeah, for those who don't know me, I'm Anna. I am a senior customer success manager at NetHunt, and I am with the company for around 2 years now. The topic we're going to be discussing today is super great. We can, as I've mentioned, talk about it for ages. So I'm very excited to be here with Anastasia today, and let's hope everything's going to be all set with this one, right?
Fingers crossed. Yeah, it's not our first AMA session or webinar, but still, like sometimes it happens. But anyways, let us start. I believe that this session is one of the most important ones in the history or anyways, in NetHunt, because the customization what is customization? What is the notion? It is the ability of the system to allow you set up the system up to your needs and the way you want it, the way you see it, but not as the system actually predefines for you. And so you all have different businesses out there, and you have different structures, you track different stats, you actually operate different data, sometimes different departments. And another topic is that when we hear about the CRM, we immediately think about sales department, but this is not true as well. And we will cover this a little bit as well. And as I mentioned, so yeah, you can operate different departments and include them into the CRM. And customization actually allows you to bring all people that you work with together, because you all work in the same company with the same clients, with the same product or service that you provide. And so why we decided to put out this AMA session, because our goal today is to make sure that you are no longer confused on where to start. I'm not talking about the people that have been with our system for a longer period, and of course you've already started, but basically if you had any doubts or still have some doubts like how to customize, or something is not super clear, hopefully you will have it sorted out and we will help you. Plus, all of your comments will help us to enhance the onboarding process and actually navigation throughout the CRM system. So after you watch this AMA session, make sure to let us know if you were confused at the very beginning when you started with NetHunt, and maybe still have some doubts, because again, it will help us out. Plus, another bonus, I think, for all of you out there will be if you guys could share your use case with us. So with some clients, we already do the customer success stories, as we so call them, or we record different use cases valid to or relevant to your industry. And we would love to start, posting about you guys on our website, or maybe in our community, so you can actually help each other out. Even though you're using the system, you still can share some, tips and tricks with each other, and set up the system or like improve it for your needs. So let me briefly show you what I'm about to show. Okay, interesting. Why it's not working? Oh yeah, it's working. Cool. Okay, so you guys, Anna, can you see my screen, my workspace?
I can. All good.
Okay, great. I cannot ask anyone else. So yeah, basically, so when you guys are starting, I don't think that this is the important part to mention that when you guys are starting with the NetHunt, so you all land on the brand new workspace with some predefined entities, and these are so-called folders where you guys keep all of the data that you work with, and so we do have some default settings, and we do provide you some structure that can give you some insights on how to actually organize the CRM. But again, one main thing is that everything is fully customizable and that you can totally get rid of some folders that you no longer need, introduce some new, import from other services, CRMs, or just spreadsheets that you guys might be using, invite more teams to it, and also create more folders. So like by default, what we see the folders like deals, contacts, and companies. So the most generic structure for the sales teams, right? But one main thing is that I need to highlight, and we in customer success always do during our demo sessions, is that your businesses are different. And so when people are asking like, oh, do we need to actually use the deals? I don't really have deals. I don't have opportunities. Or like one client is actually one deal for me and will no longer, renew or whatever because it's one time deal. So can I actually keep track of my pipeline in contacts folder or companies or whatever? Yeah. Or you guys are dealing with projects, or you guys are dealing with both deals, yeah, and projects on the side. So you might invite your developer team or project management team or whatever. And so yes, the answer is yes, you can totally do it. You can, if you're still confused or not sure on how to use the structure perfectly or correctly to your case, so you can always reach out to us. It's always interesting to actually think along with you how you better can utilize NetHunt. So for us, like for NetHunt team, we of course use NetHunt as our CRM, and our structure is also like kind of like the same. Because why? We are a SaaS product, right? And you also need to think, or you already know what kind of product you are, or maybe you sell services, or you just lead gen or whatever. So for us, it is important to have everything differentiated in 3 folders. So we deal like you as our clients, you have the company, so we have you under companies. Contacts are users. So basically, the contacts are all of your team members that are included into the CRM. So you guys are in your team and permissions over here. So for example, I have a company NetHunt, and then I have 2 contacts over here linked to the company, Brittany and Lisa. But the deals, we would call it like deals or opportunities or renewals, just because we all like you pay per month or per year. So then it means that every renewal is a new opportunity, because it can be another check, it can be another some amount, it can be another, not it can be, it is, it is another date of the renewal, right? And so for me, it's important to go to the company, open the company, and see, for example, let me just do it real quick. Some random data that is here. So basically, for example, World Health Organization is my client, and I have only 1 user in there, and we have only 1 deal, which means they paid only once, for example, right? And so with throughout the history of his life, of their life with NetHunt, I will have multiple deals. So I will have multiple renewals. So for me, it's important to have 3 folders. There are other cases when, for example, you are dealing with, again, with partners or just clients, and this is, you only want to reach out to people. So your business cycles, yeah, you lead gen people, you put them all into the contacts folder, and then you create the pipeline of people inside the context folder, and that's it. So if you, for example, want to create a deal inside the context, you can easily do it. And Anna will show you the practical part of what I'm talking about right now. I'm just highlighting like different cases, not all. And then you can simply get rid of deals folder. You don't no longer need it. And then just create, for example, another group of fields inside context related to the deal. So like stage, deal amount, date of closure, whatever. So, and then go from there. So my main point is that always think of how you manage the business right now, how you used to manage in another CRM. Maybe you like it or not. If you don't, so then basically you need to change it, and you can do it in NetHunt. And another thing, how you do it maybe in the spreadsheets, because you can customize anything over there. So basically you do the same here. So yeah, let's see the basics, like what you can customize in NetHunt, and Anna, your word, and then it will pick up from there. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. Let me share my screen. Just a sec. It's not working out.
Now you can. Sorry, my bad.
They didn't want me to share the screen, obviously.
Right? Ever. That's
okay. Yeah, that's a cruel plan of yours. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, guys, you can see my screen. All good now, right? Okay, perfect. So Anastasia mentioned what customization is basically, and NetHunt is the system. It's the first thing we always say at our demos. It's something I really want everybody to know about us, is that NetHunt is a very, very customizable system. So when you go with NetHunt, you can basically create your own little workspace that will be perfect and a good fit. You don't have to use anything we've created for you. You don't have to. But when you install the system, we already got some things that may come in handy, right? And some things you can already use, and they will be like ready to go. First thing I want to talk about is the folders, as this is the biggest unit, right? When we're talking about NetHunt CRM, when you install the system, it's contacts, deals, and companies. So if any of these work for you and they're good, you're welcome to use them. If you need to create something new, not a problem. We always can go to our settings, folder field management. Please remember this place. This is a go-to for a lot of customization points. So settings, folder field management, and here we can customize our folders. So what we can do, first of all, we can work with what is already there. So our folders, contacts, deals, companies, we can manage those. We can move them around, so drag and drop them. We can create new folders. We can go into the existing ones and customize them. So for the existing folders, you can go to any folder you already have, change its name, for example, from deals to projects, or I don't know, opportunities. People call those differently. Pick a color of your choice and pick the icon. Colors, this has been highly requested, and we recently launched this brand new and huge color palette. So pick a color of your choice and you're good to go. And color, by the way, is not only about just the little icon of your folder. A lot of the snippets that you will have in your inbox, they're color coded. So which defines which folder this email is related to. So my advice is always to pick something you will be comfortable with seeing every day and a lot. So some people like it like bright, some people would want it to be like pastel and something neutral. So pick a color that you will be comfortable with seeing every day in your inbox. Pick the icon of your choice. You can also switch those. We've got plenty of options. And this is pretty much what you can do with the folder. When we talk about creating a new one, it's a similar case. You just go to settings, folder field management, create folder, and here you give it a name. Let's do projects, just for the sake of testing. You decide which access you give this one to, and you can change this one later. So for now, let's give access to everybody, and we can limit it later on. And here, same option. You pick your color, pick your icon, and which one do I want to do? And this will be our newly created folder. We need some sort of field here. and we save it. So there you go. Here's your project folder. If you need to customize it, you customize it from here. If you need to delete something, you can also delete a folder and it will end up in your trash bin. So this is about the folders. The next part that comes after folders are the views. So some people come to NetHunt and they're more used to name those subfolders. They're not really subfolders. View for NetHunt is the pre-saved set of filters, and it basically is like taking this full information, this full data you have in the context folder, and just seeing some parts of it, right? So for example, we can go to the context folder and filter the system to show us, for example, everything where manager is me. So show us all of the contacts where I am the manager. Then we can group it and sort it. So, and then we save this set of filters so we don't filter every time. If you're interested in views, which I'm sure you guys are, Anastasia and I did this big AMA session last year. It's also saved on nethunt.com in webinars. So you can check that one out. I will show you the basic cases and how it works now, but for more profound information, you can refer to that webinar. It was super cool. So you can check out more use cases. But basically, yeah, when we go to any folder, we can see the information in two options. The first one is the list view. It works for some cases, but usually our clients go with the card view. So to do that, you need to click on the list view option over here below your all contacts and decide to card view by something. I will do the label, but this can be anything. You can card view based on any information you have in this folder. Usually it's a stage that's most popular. So this create this like pipeline, right? From new to the won deal or to lost. But this can be based on priority, based on manager, based on lead source, anything. And you decide how you want to see these cards. So right now I have it card viewed by label, and I can also decide at the top right corner, there is an option to also add some information onto the card if I want to see more. For example, I would also want to see the source of this one, and then I prefer my cards to be large. You know, I just want to see the full information. And here it is. I've got these large cards. The system have added the source onto the card. The cards can be moved around like this. You just drag and drop it. And here you are. You can also decide how you want the columns to be sorted. You can also apply some filters. Again, we've got some more information if you're interested. And then when you're satisfied with the way this one looks, you just save it. So we will save a view and name it contacts by labeled contacts. That's what it's going to be. And I'm going to share it with everybody, because you can also limit access to just yourself or to everybody. Okay, here we are. These are our labeled contacts. We can see this view in the left column over here in the left sidebar, and we see it at the top. We can switch between views here or again at the top. What you can do with the views you've created, you can add as many of them as you need. And for any folder, what you can do, you can set up these as your default views. This is what I'm going to do with my labeled contacts. I hit on the little house icon so that every time I click on contacts, it takes me specifically to this view. So I don't need to look for it. If this is something I check on a daily basis, I just click contacts and there I have it. Additional managing views also can be found over here in the left sidebar when you click on the three dots next to the view. What you can do here is you can delete this view, manage access, edit it, or change something in the view, and remove from favorites. Remove from favorites means that the view will stay in NetHunt, but it will just be removed from the left sidebar. So let's do this with my contacts, because I mean, I don't like it, right? Why would I? It's the same as the context folder. So I'm going to remove it from favorites, and that's it. So if I need to find it, I have it inside the folder. Over here at the top, I see it, but it's not appearing in the navigation, so it's not taking too much space, right? The same you can do from settings as well. If we go to settings, saved views, you can also do pretty much the same. You can add a star or remove from favorites. You can delete view, manage it. Here, you can also change the order of your views, right? So also drag and drop these for any folders, and their position will change in the left sidebar, just to pull the important ones on top. So this is what we have for these little views. They're super helpful. You can create as many as you need based on any information inside your record, and the information inside the record we're going to discuss right now. So last thing in the main points of customization is the record itself. Let's have a look at how those look. So we will open any record here in the contacts folder. I've got Sarah Blakely. If you are already our client, you've been with us for a while, you've checked out the system, you know how records look. So the structure is the same for any folder. To the left, you've got your fields and your information about this record. Over here, we have the timeline and tasks. What we're going to be focusing on today are the fields, because this is the part that you can customize drastically. So we've already got some preset things here, like the first name, last name, title, company this person works for, some fields for the phone number and email, some essential parts. But obviously, it's not going to be a fit for any business. So we can change that. We can remove the fields that we don't need and add the needed ones. In order to change something about the fields, you can go to the settings right here from the folder. So you can click over here on the record, or you can go to settings, folder field management. We've already checked this one out. And then we pick a folder that would be contacts, and we go to fields. Remember, we were in folder over here to the left, customizing it. Now we will be focusing on fields inside this folder. So this is how all those fields I've just shown you look from the setting point of view. So here we are able to do the same with them as we did with the folders and views. We can change the order, so we can move these around. For example, title at the top, whatever you prefer. We can create groups of fields, like I've got here for the details, so the basic information I might want to have at the top, then primary contacts like email, phone number, and other. So these can also be moved around if you need to. They can also be grabbed, and they can be deleted. You can add new ones, just like the fields. To be honest, the basic fields for contacts and companies will be all good usually. So there is no need to create brand new ones. If you need to change something, like for example, instead of, what do we change? Let's change something fun. For example, instead of source, we want to have something else. We don't want it to be named source. We want it to be, I don't know, where we got it from. So we can change it. We can change the presets, labels. We can go into each one of those. Let me actually pull a different folder. I think this one, yeah, this one will work better for the deals. For example, for the stages, you can customize any field in here. We can go into stage. We can rename it into status if we'd like to. And then here we've got all of our presets. We can also move these around. We can rename them. We can change the color of those. So again, if you already see something that is good, you can just need to change a couple of things, go ahead and do it. If there is something that we don't have for some reason, you can click on add field, and the system will show you all of these options for field types that you can add. You can add as many fields as you need. We don't have any limitations on that. So just pick a type of your choice. We've got single and multi-line here. These are self-explanatory. We've got drop down. This one works great for different stages, for pipelines, for types of your contacts or deals or whatever. We've got dates for any due dates, obviously. Email, phone number, numbers and auto number work really good for different deals. In order to code them, you can use the auto number. Percentages are great for commission calculating, for discounts, currency. We've got the address, Facebook, well, the social media, tags, also good as a little label, like I was showing you before. By the way, we were card viewing by this label. Checkbox for the yes or no situations, simple formulas and statistics. This is a super cool field. I always advise my clients to set it up front. So like when you are setting up your workspace, set up a statistical field. What it can do is it can actually calculate different little things inside the system, and you can pull the data based on that. For example, it can calculate time since last update, first email received, last email received, last interaction date is a very popular one. So if you will need to find, for example, those prospects or those companies that haven't been contacted for a while, you will be able, so the system will calculate all of these things on its own, and then you can just apply filter. So filter by last day, it was like 2 weeks ago, right? So we can find people that haven't been contacted for 2 weeks, and then we follow up on them. So this one is super cool. You can set it up and it only then starts calculating. So it's better to install it when you're setting up your system. So these are the types that we've got. As I've mentioned, any number of fields, any type. You can also pick the colors of those so that you see them in the pipeline like we were looking at over here, right? And lay them out. This is related to views because again, you can lay out your cards based on the data from the record. Sorry, that's it. If you guys don't know where to start, because I do get this question a lot, with this great power of customizing everything, your folders, moving things around, making things neat and perfect. Some clients are a bit scared. They don't know where to start. Like, what do I do, right? This is a lot. We always advise to start from small things, like thinking about what you guys will be doing. What are you interested in tracking? Don't customize too much, because while you're working, while you're getting acquainted with the system, you might essentially understand what is missing, what is extra, what's not needed. And also, if you need some extra help on customizing, seeing the right direction, always contact our team. We're super helpful. We love to catch up with our clients on calls, looking into your business, what you guys are needing at this time. So let us know, and we will sure be glad to help you with the setup and customize the system. And remember, you only do this once, right? And then you've got this amazing system that is 100% yours, 100% customized, and it is with you forever throughout your NetHunt using. That will be it for my information. Anastasia, I am giving the word back to you and we'll stop sharing the screen.
Amazing, finally. So, by the way,
that was mean, girl. That was mean.
I'm not a mean person. You love me. Anyway, I just also wanted to point out one thing is that you need to update your Chrome. And why I'm saying that is just like to highlight that thing for everybody who's using NetHunt. Since you guys are using an extension in Gmail, in Chrome, so be advised to update it, because Google always roll out different updates, and so we also are like dependent on them. So like sometimes some things might not work just because you haven't updated your Chrome. So just make sure you do that. So let me go to sharing my screen, right? Am I in the right place? I am. Okay, cool. Anna, you can see my screen, right? You can nod.
Yeah, all good. All good.
Awesome. Okay, let me just sip some water. Okay, so basically we were talking about the customization and how unnecessary everything is. I mean, necessary, but like not necessary for your business sometimes. But the thing is that you need to keep in mind, I'm going to talk about one thing that you all guys probably already noticed and maybe using, the possibility to create records right from your inbox. Oh, again, I haven't sent myself an email. Okay, cool. So like you can create different records right from the email, like contacts and companies. You can see that I already have a company, but there's also a contact that haven't been created, and I can do it right from the CRM and from inbox, and then we'll have two records created or already linked to each other. So the contact, which is NetHunt CRM, and also the company, and that will appear right in the email. So the email will be linked. You can go to the record newly created and see this email already there. So this thing and also LinkedIn. So from LinkedIn, you can also create different records. So different contexts and companies. I can create this guy, Lubomir, and you can see that if I go to his record, I will also have his record over here in LinkedIn. And basically, oh, interesting. He has a live avatar. That's cool. We also need to do that. And I also have his company auto created as well. So all of the data will be pulled from his profile on LinkedIn. And again, one remark, we do not violate LinkedIn terms and privacy. So we basically only pull the information that is given to you as a user. So since he is my friend, he's my connection. So he shows everything that is in his contact info to me, and I basically grab it to my record. And when I go to my NetHunt CRM, I go to the records, I can see him already created over here, and I can see his company also auto-created, and some information about his company has been pulled. Not everything, but I will show you like why not everything might not be pulled. So creating records from LinkedIn, from inbox, and also syncing your Google contacts with NetHunt, how it all happens and why you need to know for sure where to have it set up. So we have this feature that is called data enrichment, and data enrichment actually is just the functionality that establishes the path from one source to another. So basically from inbox or from LinkedIn or from Google contacts to NetHunt, to have those records that are created in one click. So you do not need to do manual job. And this path is set up over here. Why is important to kind of keep the default folders, or maybe if you don't want to keep them, to know exactly how to set up newly created or imported folders from the CSV file or from another CRM that you've been using. And let's say you land to NetHunt and decide like, okay, I don't want to use these contacts or these companies folders, and you kill them. Okay, but then you want to use the functionality that I've just described. In this case, you need to reset up the path where you will have newly created records actually created. And so this data can be pulled and set up over here. So context data, you can see that it is set and mapped to the context folder. When you click on it, you will have the choice. If you have multiple folders added, you will be able to choose another folder to act as a context data hub, right? For me, it is context, but I have another folder already here created that is not mapped to anything, which is projects, but projects are not my contacts. But if you have another one, you can click on it and then do the following. The following is to actually map the fields. You guys already have imported the data. I think all of you have done it. And you know what the mapping is. So basically here in data enrichment, we have the same thing. We have the first column actually showing you what kind of information ever we can collect from all of those sources. And they are here, like job title, short bio, even connection date on LinkedIn. So like when you guys connecting with this person, because I remember one or two clients actually asked us to add it. And so we did. The next column, of course, shows you the example of data that will be pulled. And the third one is important just to map how you map the fields. So how you map this information to the actual folder, to the actual record in the context folder. If you have the relevant field, you can choose it. If you, for example, we talk about this field about our notes that can be taken for example, from Google Contacts, you can see that there is, or actually it's LinkedIn as well. You see that there is no available field to map it to. If you want to collect this data, right, from LinkedIn, you can go to the settings of the folder where Anna showed you. So to the context, you add a new field, and you add a field that is going to be like, what was it? Notes, right? I will just call it notes. You add this field. And then we get back to data enrichment, to our context, and we find the notes. And now we finally can link it. map it. So you do the same. So in case, for example, guys, you don't have auto creation at all, it is an alarm to go to the data enrichment and to see if you actually have the linked folder that is establishing the path for the new records to be created. If you do not pull some information that is valuable for you, you also check if actually there is a mapping of these fields. If not, so then you know what to do. You go here, you map everything, and you save the settings. The same for the companies. You do the same. Another thing, what I wanted to highlight is that sometimes people are asking, can I choose from LinkedIn, for example, where I will create that record in which folder? Because sometimes you have two contacts folders. They can be contacts like leads or clients, and there can be like partners. So basically you separate those two folders. My question will be why. Basically, our strong recommendation is to keep all of the contacts in one hub, meaning in one folder. If you can do it, it's perfect. If you, for example, only need to differentiate these clients by one field, let's say the status or the tag, so who they are, a client or a partner, or sometimes they can be both. So if you collect the very same information about both types of clients, so then you keep them all in one folder and you have no problems creating leads from LinkedIn or inbox and immediately in one folder. If there is something drastically different for those types of clients, contacts, so then we only right now have one path, one link to one folder. So we might be introducing that choice, multiple choice for the folders, but I will not give you the ETA because actually mainly the clients, they solve this thing by grouping all of the contacts in one folder. If you have something different, if you have another case, reach out to us and just tell us, and then we will talk among our management group team what to do with this. So this is what I wanted to highlight, and for those that maybe not using this functionality, so you can start using it because it's really easy, just in one click create the records, especially from the inbox, because inbox is used by everybody, right? Yeah, so that what I wanted to say. Another thing what I wanted to highlight, let me see. The questions. So we also have questions from yesterday that we want to cover. And the question is, what is the advantage or disadvantage of having a separate company folder? So again, as concerning the contacts folder, the same can be put about the companies folder, because companies mainly you have one hub for the companies. So you have only one, and if you want to differentiate them by status or by tag or by anything, by industry, you can do it by adding different fields into the folder. So the only thing that you do both in all of the folders that you actually operate is that you go to the settings of the folder context for companies, for example, and you add a field which can be a drop down and which can be a type. Let's say we can call it type client, and we can add another one which will be a partner. The same is applicable to the contacts. And then you add it, save it, and then when you go to the companies, and for example, iPlan will be a client, and another one will be a partner. Oh yeah, well, basically we have the status here, but I'm just saying that you can add up multiple fields. Those are that are lacking. And then what you can do, you can either group them by type over here, and you can see that I already have a few. You can move some to a relevant category, and that's it. And so basically just keep everything, like do not complicate your workflow, because again, you will be dealing with these folders on a daily basis. You will be hiring more people just to include to your team and also onboard them and explain how to use the CRM. And this is where the hate for the CRMs come from, that you might have multiple folders, multiple fields, multiple anything that you are operating. And sometimes it is it is overwhelming. It is actually overwhelming to start with NetHunt, with any system, because you do not know where to go. But imagine you come into the company having millions of folders, millions of fields that you do not even fill out. And it is kind of confusing, because I worked like that before, and I worked with Salesforce, and I wanted to cry just because like you have a huge record, millions, thousands of these fields that, but you basically work with two. So like, okay. Another question is, oh, the one that I really wanted to cover is how can we use NetHunt for support department? So for support department, like any other departments that you want to include into NetHunt, and as I have already mentioned that all of the departments, mainly they work with the same thing, either product, service, or clients. I mean, all of them together, they're linked. So basically, if we're talking specifically about the support department, what you can do is you can invite them to role. So we in NetHunt have, so all of the users, they will be invited to the roles. Oh, is it my internet? Yeah, I think it is. So currently I only have 2 users and there are 2 admins. And then you can create another role, you will call support. And you will give them different permissions. You will give them, you know, anything that they need to use, visibility. And then you can create another folder, which can be called not projects. Well, this is a new folder that Anna created, and you can create support tickets, for example. And then this folder will be linked to contacts or companies. And then you can add up like different fields, meaning, let's say auto number, which can be, I will call it ticket, auto number that will calculate how many tickets you have. So they will be auto generated. You can add a field that will be a link to, let's say contacts, yeah, contacts. So this ticket will be linked to a contact that reported something. You can also add a status like new, in progress, and closed, let's say. Yeah, I will not have closed. Anyway, date, like when you started, so then after you added this folder, and then you can just rename the folder for sure, into the tickets, you can start operating. So like your team will be able to create the ticket and have it linked to a client. Basically, what are the ways to creating the tickets? You can work with the web form, on you can it on our website, and then users, and if this is the way of reporting for your clients, so then they will submit a form, and you can actually use our workflows for form submission. So we have the embedded web forms, then the workflow will create a new ticket in the CRM, and then your support team will be notified, and then they will be able to actually work on the ticket and then close it, and then maybe create another workflow that will notify automatically a client when their request has been closed and how. If it is an email, so like in the email, you can always create a new ticket, right? A new ticket in the folder tickets. And then, you know, you created it, there's new ticket, there's an email. Then, you can also assign the manager, you can add a field and work from there. If it's a call, so then you manually create the ticket from the call. If it's somewhere else, you just let us know, and then we will help you to customize it. The same with the project. For example, you have a team that is working on, like, let's say developers, they all work on the requests or on the projects, yeah, like on the features. And so you can also track that. You can create the folder projects and then basically link each project to multiple clients. Maybe they are requesting a feature or two. And so then you will understand that, okay, so this feature has been launched, and you know exactly who asked for it. Yeah, we will send out the newsletters about the updates, but basically then you can personally, this is what we do. Personally, you can update the clients that, hey, the feature is out. Maybe they will not read the newsletter, or, Another thing about the marketing team, the same. So marketing is kind of close to, it's mainly super close to sales team. So they can use, you do not really need to basically create any new folders for them, because they will still the same contacts and companies, and they will be mainly using email campaigns, right, or workflows to follow up on. And yeah, we basically moved to another question from our chat, is that does NetHunt have an integration with MailChimp? And if so, could you briefly explain how to make it work? Why do we need actually the integration with MailChimp if we have our own email campaign tool? So I understand where these questions come from, because people mainly, the marketing teams, they mainly use MailChimp or Gmail use or whatever, separately from the CRM. But the alignment is horrible because you deal with the same set of clients, and then you need to somehow merge them together from different tools and see like their whole path. With NetHunt, basically, well, I'm not saying only with NetHunt, but basically, yeah, with the CRM, you can do it 2-in-1. So you do not need the MailChimp to be integrated. You basically use our email campaigns, or you use the workflows where you set up different blasts of email to reach out to your clients or potential clients, and with the timing, so with the follow-ups, with the intervals, you can also include beautiful newsletters. What I mean that we support the HTML code that you can predefine and then insert into NetHunt. So basically the question is, the answer is that you do not need MailChimp for that. Anna, do you remember any other questions that we should cover here?
I think that was it for the main ones that were related to the topic. We had some more yesterday, but they were off top. So I think this will be it for the main ones covering our topic. But if you guys are watching this on the day you watch this and you've got our emails, we've got this awesome chat on nethunt.com. So ping us if we forget about something.
Yeah, for sure. Would you like to add something else, Anna, to our Amy session?
No, you literally took all the stage. So I'm just here. I'm just here chilling, watching together with the rest of the guys. But no, I'm very glad that we have this.
Basically, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then we can wrap it up and basically wait for the feedback from our clients, and then to see, basically, guys, you can also send us the feedback of what you would like to see, kind of a live demo, because AMA sessions, they are actually triggered to talk about the topics that we mainly talk about, but maybe bring it up to more audience, and then maybe something is bothering you, so we can actually include it into the next sessions that we are trying to have them every month. So you still have time. By the end of February, we'll have a new one. If you do not pitch us ideas, we will come up with ours. But anyways, all the questions you have, you send it to us, and then we will collect it and speak about it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or whatever. Yeah, and thank you for attention. Thank you, Anna, for co-hosting this with me. Love you.
Yeah, my pleasure, girl. And thank you so much, guys, also for taking your time.
See you next month. Bye-bye.